Say good morning, bonjour, Dilia Sakavet.
Eh bien, bonjour Waddix, bonjour tout le monde qui a écouté Q95 bon matin. Hein? Moi bien, merci, merci bon Dieu. Et puis, je vais souhaiter tout le monde en bonne santé. Si vous pas tellement bien, pour Dieu, bon Dieu qui fait au meilleur. Si vous
Pas
bien,
de problème.
appréciez ça parce que c'est pas tout le monde qui est en bonne santé.
Ouais, nous savons ça, nous savons ça. Et nous nous aussi, Odell, what's up, my brother? Oh, so what is ça? Van Sakavet, frère.
Mon là, tout va
Tout
bon?
va bien.
Oui, man.
Ok, nous allons parler un peu de accordion et puis musique traditionnelle, la Dominique.
Pas de problème.
Et nous allons parler un peu de Triple K et puis
Ecstasy.
Ecstasy. Okay, so Delia, we are going to deal with the Creole way as we plan to actually, and we can do it bilingual, we can do it in both Creole and English, as to, the Creole where and how important it is for us in Dominica to observe and to preserve the Creole word. Just before we get into the where, you are also a very instrumental person in KEC, Committee for Weighted Creole, in the preservation of the language. We know that we are celebrating 40 years now, 40 years?
40.
40 years. And what is the update on the new revised Creole dictionary?
Work continues, and we're hoping that before the end of the anniversary year, we'll be able to launch it. But
Okay.
doing a dictionary is a lot of work.
A lot of work. Let's go into the Creole way of Dominica. This give us a little historical background onto our Creole way in Dominica.
Okay, so Waddix, you know that we are Creole people, meaning that we do not belong to one specific race. We are mixed. So we have our African ancestry, we have the European ancestry, we have the Kalinagos, we have inputs from the Indians, and so on. And this is what causes us to be who we are. Now remember, the Africans were uprooted from their countries and they had a particular style of dress. But we all know about the history of slavery in the Caribbean. And when you become a slave or a servant, you do not have any rights. You wear what you are given. You eat what you are given. You do the tasks that are assigned to you. And so these people could not wear what they wanted. So during the time of slavery, you find if we were to depict that, men would wear a lot of cut-off pants or pants rolled up, because if your slave master was taller than you, then you'd get a pant that is too long, and in case you do not want the pant to throw you down or whatever, you roll it up. Or you take a cutlass and you cut it off so it's not neatly cut. So three-quarter pants, pants rolled up, usually dark colors, khaki, navy blue, black, because we know that is the kind of colors that the Europeans chose to wear. The women would wear shapeless, formless garments. Tuatu, a hole for your head, two holes for your arms, and one size fits all. So if what you are given is too long, then you end up taking a string, tie it around your hip, and pull it up so that my dog is doing a Creole heartbeat.
That's a song, a Creole song.
Yes.
A Creole song.
So if it is too long, you tie something around your hip and you pull it up. If it is too short, you find a way to put something under it so that you're not exposed. So you might end up having layers of clothes. And depending on what you were doing, it would determine what you wear. So for example, the dress that I'm wearing now, I don't know how much of it you can see if I stand
Okay,
up.
let's just welcome our viewers on Facebook. We are live on the big station, and we're live on the big station Q95 Facebook page. And let's display for those who are viewing us live. Let's go, Delia.
So it's a
The
formless
dress you're wearing now.
garment, a loose garment. As you can see, it is just fitted here. And it allows for breeze. So across the spectrum, people would wear this. Imagine the lady of the house comes from church. She has had on all her finery and so on. and she wants something cool to wear to relax in the house.
Mm-hmm.
So she would wear this, a
Yes.
gall,
Mm-hmm.
cotton dress that allows for the breeze to flow. You're pregnant, the gall allows for your belly to grow. And the people going out on the road to go to the market, to drop off first communion cake to the neighbors and so on, they would wear a gall. So that is an everyday loose fitting dress. And even up to today, people are wearing galls and they don't even know what it is that they're wearing.
Yes.
I have chosen to wear this black and white gall, and my head is tied in a style called tête froncée, which is black and white, because I am in mourning. Monday.
Yon day
Oui,
pour Ed toujours?
oui, Ed c'était cousin moi.
Ouais, ouais, ouais.
Grand-papa Ed et puis grand-papa moi, c'était des fois.
Des fois. So c'est cousin.
Oui. Comme ça, moi, day, moni had traditionnel moi les moi, mais mon pas capoter trop couleur trop fort.
Mhm.
Mon capoter noir, blanc et puis ni teasing rouge parce qu'il fait si longtemps pour moi célébrer.
Ouais.
Comme ça, moi là. So, yes, so you have this, which is one of the things that go all the way back to the times of slavery. What happened after that is people would adjust some of the clothes that were handed down. So you'd see some people looking kind of stylish, but in the Creole language, you would say, Upa leve had salapiti.
Ouais.
You did not have it from scratch. It was something that passed down to you. And then slavery had to come to an end. It was abolished. And we had the free people of color being able to wear what they wanted. They came from Martinique, they came from the other islands close by, they settled in Dominica, and they had a choice, so they could choose the style that they wanted, and they could use whatever fabric they wanted. So everybody would remember the drawings and the paintings by Agostino Brunias, who is an artist who lived in Dominica around that time. And Roseau Cultural Group started off with that outfit that everybody just fell in love with. And in fact, there is another group on the island that has adopted that style, the free slave outfit, almost as their uniform. So it is the long striped skirt over a white petticoat with a top that has frills on the end, a fitted sleeve down to the elbow, and then it balloons out. And then you have the crossover foulard that represented the same type of crossover you would see on the French militiamen. So they had their belts holding their bullets and whatever, always in a crisscross over their red jackets. So that was what it represented. And then because the European women wore lots of wigs and pompadours, we don't have these things. So they made up headpieces. They would tie their heads and then pin a hat to the side to imitate the look of the women, because you are no longer our oppressors. We can dress like you. We don't look like you, but we can dress like you. So you have the free slave, and the men, they wore jackets, but not the dull, boring jackets like the Europeans, the tweed and black, navy blue, brown. No, African people are people who love bright colors. And so they went out and they chose the most stunning fabrics to make their jackets. And their jackets were different because they kept their African style. So it's the jacket without the collar and the lapel that folds over. Their jacket has a lot of buttons going down one side, and normally they would just pin one button so that it opens out and you could see their shirt. So that's the free slave jacket. And because a lot of the people who were brought to the Caribbean were Muslims, then the men always wore a little skull cap. So that outfit is complete. That is the free slave. So it's like the transition between slavery and being free. And then we come down to that point in time where we can choose to wear what we want. So we're now into the Creole season where we come up with all sorts of creation. African people have this tradition of exposing skin in a sexy but discreet way. So you would see the off the shoulder dress or something tied up so a little bit of leg is showing, but it's not vulgar. It's very well done. And so we come quickly through to all of the Creole creations that we have. And at this point, I need to make that distinction, and I am hoping that people are listening very, very carefully. All of our clothes that we wear, the different creations, they are all Creole outfits. But we have what is identified as our national wear. The national wear for us.
Okay, just hold on. We'll go into the national wear in a while because we have to go through the national wear of men and the
Okay.
national wear of women. As we say good morning to Odell,
Yes.
Sakafet Boys, man.
Mola Waddix.
To the back idea, yes. Ecstasy and Triple K been playing recently?
No, Triple K, we actually did a rehearsal last night. That's, all the events for this independence is virtual.
Virtual, yeah.
So November 4th, the street jump up.
Street jump up will be virtual.
Virtual. So we rehearsed last night, so we will be
virtual. How will that take place? You all will be somewhere and the band will be playing.
We're going to
and everybody at their home jumping up. At their home. Where am I?
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Yeah, at their home. So everybody will be home. But we too will be home.
Right. Observing the protocols.
Of course, yes.
And at the cultural division, we know that you're one of the tutors of the accordion. And you have been teaching several groups. Tell us about that. How many groups? Where in Dominica? And how has that been going?
Okay, so it's a bit challenging, the late nights. It's about 15
groups.
15 groups.
Wow.
All over the island. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of people actually learning to play the accordion.
Yes.
And there are a lot of people who is playing. But COVID right now, so we cannot really, But I love the job. To me, there's no problem. There's challenges, but I don't complain about it.
But in terms of who you are tutoring, are there only children, young people?
There are children.
Mixed ages?
It's mixed. The children in primary school, secondary school. You have elderly as well, learning, and youth, a lot of youth. All female. We have all female jimping.
You have an all female.
All female.
All female jimping group.
Yes,
that's from Sibuli.
Sibuli, yes.
Wow, that should be very, very interesting. But you only teach the accordion or the various instruments?
All the instruments. Accordion, the gouache, tambour, the boom. Sometimes some people interested in playing guitar as well, so I would still teach them to play the guitar.
By the way, Slim, you could come in at any time, because we are speaking with one of your boys. Slim is one of the very few DJs from Dominica that I have adopted.
Okay.
Yeah. I have adopted,
yes.
and well, very few to get a million likes on one of his mixes, or several of his mixes.
Views on YouTube.
Views on YouTube. For 2 years straight.
Yeah.
Very good.
Okay, so you could jump in any time and ask Dile any question. Dile is a lovely family Creole, and Odell from the Triple K Global. And you go out in the various communities, Odell, and teach people to play the traditional with the hope of preserving that aspect of our culture.
Yes.
And that's your main role at the cultural division.
Main role. And remember, we had during Domfesta earlier this year.
Yes.
We had the Jimping Festival.
Yes, the first ever Jimping Festival. How was that?
Very successful, Waddix.
How many groups? Because I understood several groups.
18, 19, or 19. But in total, we have 22 active Jimping bands on the
active Jimping bands. Boy.
Yeah.
I was once very much concerned, especially when the elderly guys from Girodale and
yes,
they went to the wild beyond. But it has been corrected now.
Yes, because when I started working at the cultural division, there were only six
6 groups.
Yes, that is
Established groups.
Pidit 7, but remember Mr. Crawford passed.
Yeah, Crawford.
So right now is only 5 established groups we have.
Mm-hmm.
And all the rest are new upcoming
groups.
Jumping bands.
Okay, and in terms of instruments, do those groups have instruments or
Cultural division who provide everything:
Mm-hmm.
accordions, guage, tambour, boom, and then whoever shows interest, when I go to them, I will bring the instrument. So right now, cultural division ordered 24 accordions. That was recently, and basically all of them out. In the different districts.
Different communities.
Apart from the groups, I'm talking about the 22 groups. There are individuals learning to play the accordion as well.
That's good.
So we're talking like Waddix 33 around there.
33 accordions players in Dominica.
Yep.
And in terms of the young, because I'm more interested in the preservation and the longevity,
right?
Quite a bit of young people are involved.
A lot of young. Well, everybody except the 5
established groups.
Everybody are young people.
So that women, we must invite Slim. We must invite the women group man to come and give us some shipping.
Yeah,
let me take our first song, man. We say, I know we are okay. Slim, I'm going to give you the to introduce Odell on the accordion before we go back to Delia for the with Okay, so Slim, I'm going to give you the opportunity to. Hold on. I'm excited. Slim, I'm going to introduce you.
All right, so we have Odell, a very talented musician, both from Ecstasy Band and Triple K TK International, and now it's his time to give us some traditional Creole music right here on the big station.
Delia, something take you. Oh,
you got picture when.
That's what Saki music. Okay, Delia, I mean, with the words of Delia, stand up and lunge. Okay, Delia, we were into the actual national. We are now national. We are for both men and women.
Yes, so let me just go back a little bit to what remember I mentioned that we have all of our Creole creations and they are beautiful, they are accepted. Remember, we have had Creole every Friday in October, and people are encouraged to show off their creativity, wear the different outfits, and it doesn't have to be Madras. So, for example, here I have a Creole creation. I don't know how much of it you can see.
Makaway. In your pill couleur, Makaway.
Yes.
Sexy,
so it is tie-dyed, plenty cloth. You can wear it how you want. And you can adorn it with whatever you want. So you would well imagine if I'm wearing this, most of that part of my body would be exposed. The sleeves come down and cover me nicely. And then you have a lot of cloth with frills. So you can tuck it up. You can wear a petticoat underneath. You can do whatever you want. You have creative license. And whether you wear it long or short, what is important is that you look beautiful, you feel that you are making a fashion statement, and you have the gum to go with it. You can't be slouching about in your Creole wear. You have to carry that with a style. You have to marcher comme femme antillaise. The men, I mean, Waddix, look at your beautiful shirt.
Of course.
That is a shirt you can wear anytime, anywhere, and feel confident that you're making a statement.
Statement.
And thanks for modeling for me.
And might get a girl or two when I live here. A friend, sorry, a friend.
You might meet somebody waiting. You never know. You might get a wife.
Yeah. J'aime ça. Moi, j'aime ça.
So we have this, okay, and then all the different creations. What people understand it as, it has to have color. It must, most times it will have lace, and then you wear it as you are comfortable. You are free to show off some skin, not too much, not in the wrong places.
And the wrong places would mean around your posterior and so on and so on. It is
What
not
if-
a dress to show your
No.
vital statistics on Carnival Day.
No, listen to me. Everybody should be honest with themselves and know what are your best assets.
Yes, yes,
Okay?
yes, yes.
So if you have
Pateron,
beautiful legs,
said that in a song.
right? No, so if you have beautiful long legs,
Uh-huh.
you have permission to wear something that shows off your beautiful legs.
Yes.
However, you have to be discreet enough that if you inhale, your tonsils are not exposed. Okay?
Ouais, dis-le où j'ai connaît.
Or if whatever you're carrying falls down, then you cannot stoop down to pick it up.
Panama, aussi Panama Autobé.
Amen. So, and it, I mean, it is something that gets to me when I see young women trying to follow fashion. They have some very tight, very short outfits, and every step they take, they have to be pulling down. Why put yourself through that? Just make it a little bit more loose so that it stays in place and walk freely. All right, so we know what our best assets are. We are free to show them off. I know I have beautiful, flawless skin, so off and on, I will show a shoulder. Or
When,
an arm.
as long as Mr. Wicks approve.
Well, let's not go there. Let's not go there because I will not permit you to take me down a path that will put my marriage in.
Good morning to you, Mr. Wicks.
Don't worry. So yes, we have all of these. But then remember, we have what is designated as our national wear.
Yeah.
I will begin with the men because it's simpler. A white shirt, black pants, and a red sash tied on the left. It does not pass through the loops of the pant because it is not a belt. So it passes, if you're dressing, you put on your pants, you put on your belt, and then you pass the sash over your belt and tie it on the left side. If you are wearing a jacket or a waistcoat, then you can replace that sash with a cummerbund. A lot of people call it a cummerbund. It is not a cummerbund. It is a cummerbund, which is normally something with a few pleats in the front and it attaches in the back. So when you put the waistcoat over it, you look very sharp. The other options that men have is that, first of all, you can wear the standard white shirt, or you can make a Creole shirt, which is built somehow, something like what I have on, with a fitted piece at the top, and then it gathers down so that it gives you breathing space. And the sleeves are normally a lot bigger than the conventional shirt, and the cuffs hold everything in place. And the men look very sharp in that. So imagine you have this big upper part of your body Then you have your sash or your cummerbund cinching the waist so the man looks like he has a real manly form. Black shoes, dark socks. You are not Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson alone that had permission to wear white
Right.
shoes
Black
and
shoes
black
and
pants.
white socks.
Right. And his black pants short of a leg. Your black pants should touch your shoes so that you're not showing off your socks. It's not a competition. And so for the men, your options are your gilet, which could be made of madras or flowered material, your jacket, which could be made like the conventional jacket, or it could be made like the free slave jacket. Remember, if you are wearing the free slave jacket, the outfit is not complete unless you have the little skull cap. And you have the choice of bow ties, whether plain or madras. You can also make ties. I have seen people with suspenders. All of that is permitted. What you have to be careful is that you do not overdo. So imagine you see this person going down the road with a madras bow tie, suspenders, a waistcoat half open so you can see the suspenders and whatever. That can be too much. If you really want to keep it simple, you can also wear just a madras sash over your shoulder. So, for example, let us imagine a man who is in mourning like me may choose to put on his nice white shirt and then he wears this sash tucked nicely into his belt so that it stays in place or pinned somewhere so it doesn't fly away while you're walking. Or it could also be worn across. So you can have that either in madras or in some flowered material. Maybe you and your lady going out, your lady had a particular fabric for her duet, you make your madras, your sash in it, or your tie or whatever. We can mix and match. So the men can mix it up. You can also do your chapeau pie, depending, especially for people who are out on the street. So Waddix, you may be doing your radio programs out in the open. You can wear chapeau pie. And I'm not talking about a Chinese hat. Our artisans work very hard. And as a matter of fact, if people know the amount of work it takes to take screw pine from the plant to that material that you can make a straw hat with, then they will not argue with the artisans when they tell you a straw hat costs so much.
Yeah.
You may buy a cheaper Chinese hat that will not last as long. I have straw hats at my house for every season. Straw hat. I going out in the yard. I going to do a big day of whatever that will give me a lot of sun. This is my madras hat. This is my husband's large hat.
Okay.
So you see, there is a hat for every season. And if you cannot find one that suits your purpose, you can speak to the artisans and they can design your straw hat for you. I also have a small one. So for example, if I just want to go out on the road, but I do not want to have too much. So you see, if I didn't have this thing on my head, let me take it out. Then I can just put on my straw hat and I'm good to go. I do not have to worry about the sun getting in my eyes and all of that. And that is how we go. We support local. We continue to help our artisans to do what they do and to keep our traditions alive.
Let nous pas nous quand porter musique là rapide let nous wait everywhere c'est femme one prayer. DJ Slim c'est au pas là. More music, let's go.
More music by Odell. And he's setting
Serious
up,
introduction.
he's
Look
setting
at
his
taper
trap.
bagay show. Ça qui a caillou, ça qui va vienne sous poison. Attends un petit moment. DJ Slim introduce.
Yes, Odell, he just put his strap across his shoulder and he's ready to go again. And he goes.
1, 2, Latte.
that's what Tokyo. That's it.
Tokyo.
Yeah.
You know how my finger hold you close, so very close to my heart. You have that for one foot. You have that. Oh, you have that triple K something. We want after when you come back from that, go up there. You want some a vavoom.
Vavoom.
That's what to remind you, Dominica. We next week Friday, by the way, is Creole Day. And for Creole Heartbeat, as a matter of fact, spoke to Matt a while ago. We may be on a little earlier, giving you an opportunity to converse in Creole and also Kokoi. That's next week, Friday. Creole Day, we give you an opportunity to call the superstation, converse in Creole, and also converse in Kokoi. And if you have or you know any proverbs, any poems, any blag, any stories in Creole, we'll give you an opportunity to do so next week. Dilia, what do you est-ce que vous parlez pour nous là? Ouais, you have temps déjà changé. Dilia, est-ce que vous là?
Mwela.
Vous devez danser là. Papa, you have
Money
the music là. Yes,
So,
Dilia.
yes, so if you'll notice, my outfit has changed slightly
Yes.
because I have put on portions of a jeep.
Uh-huh.
So this is my fuller, and this fuller is reversible.
Wow. We're live on the big station as Dilia continues to exit and showcase Creole wear.
So yes, so you notice that this is a cheap way where you make one thing that you can wear in different ways, and this is the skirt to go with it.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
So you can well imagine if my top was white, then I am in my Creole outfit in my jeep, which is the petticoat, the colored skirt, the scarf, and what I am missing now is my headpiece.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, I may decide I am wearing a lavantai, which is the traditional style for Grand Bay, the fan,
Mm-hmm.
or I could do any of a number of headpieces that can be worn. I'm going to do a very quick one that people who are in a hurry, you bought a piece of cloth, you don't know what to do, you don't have time to go and find Manwix or somebody to tie for you. So you hold it, the edge that is locked, because when you get your fabric, it will be locked on two sides and it will be cut on two sides. So just try to follow along with me. Gather a certain distance from the top, and then fold the cloth by pulling it.
Mm-hmm.
Then you give that one twist, place that on your forehead, tie it to the side. You don't need pins, you don't need ribbons, you don't need anything. Tie it to the side, take your time and open it out. Make some sort of flower or something, and you're good to go.
Yes.
Okay?
Beautiful.
So
Simply
you have
gorgeous.
no excuse for saying I could not wear anything. Okay? And you notice that your hair is covered, you look pretty, you've done it vroom wrap, and you're ready to go.
Yes.
So the skirt that I showed you, the skirt for the jeep that I showed you was a simple one.
Mhm.
You can also have one that is made like a duet.
Yes.
And again, it depends on people's choices. You have options. So if you do not like the simple long skirt, you can make a skirt with frills. You can make a skirt with a lot more fabric so that you feel pretty in wearing what you're wearing. So remember, for the jeep, you have the scarf or foulard, which can be made like this, or you can use the traditional triangular square or the circular ones that everybody has fallen in love with all the frills and so on. But you must have a scarf. You must have a brightly colored skirt, whether it's stripes or madras or flowers, or a plain fabric that makes a statement. And under it, you will wear a petticoat, white petticoat with lace and also decorated with baby ribbon. I tend to not encourage people to go with all the colors of the rainbow. Let us stick to maybe red. And if it's like a special occasion, so you're going to a golden wedding anniversary or silver wedding anniversary, then you put those colors. Or for example, if you're in mourning, you change the red ribbon for black ribbon. You can be creative that way. And of course, your headpiece is not complete if you do not have your outfit is not complete if you do not have some sort of headpiece and your jewelry to go with it. You notice I have toned down on my jewelry, just some earrings, but you can wear what you want. The only thing I advise against is do not use the colors of the rainbow because it is not Mardi Gras. It's not a carnival parade. Gold or silver or pearls because it's an outfit of great price. And for the people who want to go the extra mile, that is where the warp duet comes in. And the warp duet is an elegant outfit. It is a full-length dress with long sleeves reaching all the way to your wrist. Sometimes the sleeves have a cuff that fold back on themselves. Sometimes they end in just rick-rack braid. It is up to you. The dress is fitted in the back. Let me get one so people can see what I'm talking about.
Yes, we are live on the big station as we are now showcasing the national wear of Dominica, especially for the females, the WOB duet. Those of you who are on Facebook, you could hook up or log on to QFM's Facebook page so you can have a pretty good idea as to what's taking place live. And Delia is now going to showcase the WOB duet.
So this is our duet.
Mm-hmm.
You notice the long sleeves
Yeah.
folding back on itself, making a cuff. If I untie the front, you can see the front just has pleats on the shoulder and then it just drops all the way down to the ground. The back, on the other hand, is fitted.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on the fabric, you would want to match the stripes so that you have a good pattern.
Mm-hmm.
The back part of the skirt is gathered to allow for ease for, as black women, sometimes some people carry a weight behind there.
Yes, a lot.
Right.
Heavy
So
duty.
the bumper.
Yes.
So we want to allow the bumper to be free.
Free up. Loose.
Yes. So that part of the dress is gathered or pleated and it allows for a lot of expansion.
Yes.
The beauty of that dress is that although people say it is a very hot dress, but that is people who do not know anything about the duet. Some of them have never worn a duet before, so they don't know what they're talking about. The duet can be built with its own brassiere inside.
Ah, okay.
So you notice we have a little white blouse on the inside. You do not need to wear a bra. That is your inbuilt cotton bra. So when you put the dress on, you put your bra, then you close the dress, and you're good to go. The sleeves are lined with cotton as well. So when you put the dress, the only parts of the dress that are really touching you are the sleeves and the back of the dress and your bra. The natural body's reaction is that you're going to sweat. But when you sweat and that sweat goes into that white cotton, the cotton becomes moist. and it stays against your skin for the whole day. That is your natural air condition. So while everybody is fanning, woo, it's hot, you are cool. You have your own cooling system. So the people who have been spreading rumors about this dress, tell them will and come again. They don't know what they're talking about.
This is pretty interesting in terms of the build
Mm-hmm.
and the fabric,
Yeah.
because it's not what you see, but then it has to be done properly and
Oh, yes.
worn properly.
Now, what is to continue with that? If you have a duet petticoat that is properly starched, then you're supposed to put your duet petticoat to stand up and walk away. And it should just remain there, like a man who has taken Viagra.
Why?
Okay? That's supposed to stand up, ready for action. And so imagine when you put this petticoat on you before you put the duet, the only place the petticoat is touching is your waist. When you pull that string and you tie it in the front, then you have a vacuum created around your legs and around the bumper. So you can be standing there looking very ladylike, but your legs wide open, vanti, and the breeze is passing through, and nobody knows how you're standing up because the petticoat is holding the dress out. It also keeps you decent, so even if your legs are wide open, nobody knows, and you're looking sharp. Okay, so people are finding out things about the duet that they did not know.
Absolutely. How important is this national wear?
Well, what it's the same way a flag identifies a nation, so too the national wear for the nation identifies it wherever you see it on the face of the earth. People may wonder why I'm saying that, because Dominica wears duets, St. Lucia, Martinique, Guadeloupe. But if you know anything about this outfit, when you look at the style, the work, and how the whole outfit comes together, you can identify this is a St. Lucia duet, this is a Martinique or Guadeloupe duet, and this is a Dominica duet. Of the 4 countries that I have mentioned, Dominica is the only country that uses that white petticoat with red ribbon. I remember I went to Martinique to do a performance, and the women wanted to take that petticoat off me on stage. And if I wanted to sell the petticoat, I could have had an auction because they were so amazed. Yet still we say, but they have such pretty lace and such pretty fabric. Why would they want that? But they just don't use the combination that we do. So they're more into just plain lace, layers of lace. St. Lucia uses a lot of colored fabrics. And the difference between the Dominica duet and the other duets is that our duets are the only ones that are lined at the hem with white cotton. This one doesn't have white cotton because the fabric was cotton, so I just used it to wet the material. But normally, the duet would be made with white cotton on the hem, as in this skirt. So the skirt is made using the same principle as the duet. And the reason for that is that when you starch your skirt or your duet, that part, because it is layered, it causes it to hang down. So although you have a lot of cloth around you, even if a breeze van comes, it will not lift up your dress and throw it over your head. It keeps it anchored. And then, because it has that starch and the weight, when you carry the duet, you hold a piece and you pull it up, then it knows how to stay so that it looks elegant, it shows off what you want to show off, and it hides what you want to hide.
Absolutely. Delia, fantastic stuff. But our time is quickly approaching, so we'll
I
come back
know.
to you. We'll come back to you for final words. But
Yes, but I
Odell,
want some music.
yeah, we have to end up with. You sure you have a triple K something
I can
hot?
give you a WCK. I'll give you a
Okay, all right,
WCK.
you give us a WC. But before that, Odell, we know the cultural gala will also be virtual this year.
Yes, and we have recordings going on with last night, tonight as well. We have, yeah, so I mean,
We also heard that from the acting chief cultural officer that will be having um, a diverse format this year with
Format.
quite a bit of the contemporary mix with the
yes,
traditional.
yeah, also the
For
same.
instance, I understood that Mikhail will be singing with some folk sound, and Benji will be singing with a Jimping band or something like
And
that.
Delhi as
And
well.
Daly also,
Will
formerly
be.
of WCK, will be singing with a Jimping band.
And the Jinping band is the band who it came out with from the Jinping festival at the Mon Prosper.
So the band that won the Jimping,
Well, no, it was no competition.
it was a festival.
It was a festival, but what I'm saying is the first time showcase was at the Jinping festival.
So you chose a particular band from the
Band
festival.
yeah. So I mean, the guys they have some midnight groovers medley. And all
That band, Mon
Yeah,
Prosper,
yes, man.
we have a live of that for me and Slim the Boss on the radio, man.
No,
Coco
I
Sek
think-
and Isukwe Sakula Uban
and-
Shabao. A Sigdula.
So they have quite a few numbers.
You know what I would love to see one of those days in one of our major activities when we get back to some level of normalcy. All these players come, let's say, on the bayfront and have a big orchestration. We practice a few songs where all the accordion will be playing the same song, all the taboo and the guage and they playing one big
Yeah.
sound, a big system.
Of course.
And
that's-
people all in St. Lucia and Martin can hear that. But anyway, it's time to go there. I want to wish you guys at the cultural division all the best. Those who are on tour in Dubai and also hard working Ilson and his first independences. I want to wish him all the best and all you guys at the cultural division. We'll get back to Delia for the final words. But let me take Delia for the final words and then we go to party with the Sikhi medley. So Delia, I really want to thank you for being with us today. As usual, exemplary. You're truly one of God's gifts to Dominica. And I really want to big you up in a special way. When that special gentleman passes by, tell him we love him at the big station immensely.
Thanks, Waddix, for the opportunity. And I hope at least one of the things that I said struck something in people and that people will make a more concerted effort to wear their national wear with pride and respect.
Okay, I hope that next week maybe you could join us with Couple Blag because you're also a writer.
Yes,
And,
we will
I've
see
written
how that
several
goes.
stories. So I'll blag us something in Creole next week. I'll hook up with you so we can do that live. But in the meantime, next week Friday, as a matter of fact, we'll be doing something big for Creole Day on Creole Heartbeat. And we're urging you out there to call in a Yankee Creole, a Yankee Creole, in Creole jokes, Creole proverbs, Creole stories, nuka pale Creole missy madam, nuka fesa du pe. And please Slim for the final time we're going to introduce you.
You know, I was
You will
saying
say it in
that-
English, and I'm going to say it in Creole, and you're going to latch it.
Okay, I'll say it in English. You say it in Creole.
Okay, I'm going to say it in Creole
listen.
first. I'm going to say it in Creole first. And then you'll say, oh, you'll say it.
No, I'll say English.
Okay, say English, I'll say it in
Okay,
Creole.
so follow me. He looks simple.
You can get this up.
If you don't look for him, you won't see him.
Si vous pas voir, vous pouvez voir.
But petit ange cap and go boy.
Piti Haskabat Goba. Messieurs, mesdames. Il a fait nous plaisir pour ça, messieurs, mesdames. Live en studio Q95, messieurs, mesdames. Please, la Dominique. La J! nous passons à bon petit moment, nous quand même essayer Dilia, nous quand même essayer Odell. Next week we have some more fun. And we really want to thank you guys. Odell, once again, thank you, Delia. Thank you.
Welcome.
You want to thank Mr. G. You want to thank Kimberly. You want to thank DJ Slim. Next week, let a few lines in
Yes.
Creole Slim.
Yes, definitely.
Nous allons parler Creole.
A little.
On y va répondre ma Creole. Nous allons parler petit Creole.
Speaking English.
The news comes up next on the big station. Thank you very much. Until next week.
Pour nous connaître, pour meilleur, c'est pour nous tout ça bénéfice. For all the wonders you done for us all, spreading the culture all over the world. For all the good things that you done for God, that's what Waddix. We thanking you. We thanking you, brother. Trick.